Episode 65, Europe, an AI continent with AI factories.
The AI6 podcast with Joanne Sweeney.
AI, as we've been discussing on this podcast, is the next industrial revolution, and Europe isn't just along for the ride. It's writing its own rulebook, championing AI that's open, fair, and built on democratic values. The EU is doubling down with a bold new move, AI factories. These are more than just buzzwords. They're becoming the backbone of Europe's plan to lead in responsible AI across the world. It's also part of a broader EU AI continent action plan designed to spark innovation, boost competitiveness, and make powerful AI tools accessible to every member state and not just the usual tech hubs. Hello and welcome to the AI6 podcast, the podcast where I explore how AI is changing creativity, innovation, communications, and productivity in 6 minutes a day. I'm Joanne Sweeney, and I literally was stopped in my tracks when I came across AI factories in Europe. I just knew I had to research it and then tell you guys on this podcast. First of all, let's hear from Henna Virkkunen, a Finnish politician who is the European Commission's Executive Vice President for Tech Sovereignty, Security and Democracy. She describes the EU's AI ambitions.
When it comes to funding of the gigafactories, 20 billion is the amount that we have estimated that has to be used to have 4 to 5 gigafactories in the European Union. And normally when we have been funding the AI factories, European Commission has been funding 50% and then the member states another 50%. For the gigafactories, we are now also calling private investors to join us, and today we will now open the call for interest on that, and after that we will see that how much and how big projects the member states and the private investors are now proposing, and then we will work during the next months with them, and we will open the official call later on this year. In the same time, now we are working with the European Investment Bank to launch also this AI investment fund, what was published by President von der Leyen in the AI Summit. So we are working to make sure that we have also enough financing capacity to build up this infrastructure. But I think after few months, we will know more when we see what kind of consortiums there will be announced or coming from different member states and areas, and then we will work further with them with the projects.
So the European Union is advancing its AI capabilities by launching a second wave of AI factories, selecting 6 new sites across Austria, Bulgaria, France, Germany, Poland and Slovenia. These have been added after the initial sites were announced last December in Spain, Italy, Finland, Luxembourg, Sweden, Germany and Greece. This plan represents a €1.5 billion investment supported by national governments and EU funding through programmes like Horizon Europe and Digital Europe. The aim is to provide AI startups and SMEs with privileged access to high-performing computing resources, data and talent. As an SME based in Ireland, I definitely welcome this news. Writing in a press release, the European Commission said the initiative is part of the EU's broader strategy to foster trustworthy and ethical AI development, positioning Europe as a leader in the field. The EU also plans to deploy several AI gigafactories as part of the Invest AI initiative, which seeks to mobilise up to €200 billion in AI investments across Europe. But what is an AI factory, I hear you ask? Well, it's a place where powerful tech like supercomputers and large-scale AI models are made available to people who wouldn't otherwise have access to it. That means startups, universities, government and public sector bodies, or anyone working on an idea that could benefit from advanced AI. Think of it as a high-tech co-working space meets a university research lab. Ultimately, it's designed to speed up AI innovation. And here's what's included. Access to those supercomputers that can train massive AI models in hours instead of weeks. Datasets, software and tools tailored for European languages, cultures and sectors. And then expert support to help turn ideas into real-world applications and fast. So why does it matter? Well, this initiative is all about democratizing access to powerful AI. And I used that term last week when I was talking about Llama 4 and the fact that Mark Zuckerberg has made it free to the world. We're basically democratizing AI and allowing anyone and everyone who has an idea to, I guess, get involved in AI. We do not want there to be inequity in any way. You know, most startups or government or public sector bodies, don't have that computing power. We don't have the resources to experiment with AI at scale. But by plugging in to a shared ecosystem, one that's transparent, ethical, and European by design, then that's the EU giving us as members, local innovators, a real fighting chance. And I, for one, am really excited. So with AI and trustworthy embedded in it from the start, and aligning with EU values around safety, privacy, and transparency, the EU is setting a specific standard. Some might say it's setting a different standard than what we are seeing from other global players in the world of AI.
The AI6 Podcast with Joanne Sweeney.
If you've got an opinion on this, I'd love to hear it. If we're not connected on LinkedIn, make sure that you search Joanne Sweeney and send me a connection request. If you're a marketer and you want to stay ahead of AI, check out my professional diploma in AI for marketers. Use the code AI610 for a discount. You can also hire me for an in-company AI workshop. I am Joanne Sweeney. This is the AI6 Podcast. I'll talk to you on the next show.